All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of the Redshirt Podcast. I'm your host, Trey. You guys can find me at that way K816. I'm here with my guy DG, fellow co-host. We got man, DG. We're fresh off of a really good week, and this is gonna get even better, especially with our special guest, man.
Yes, definitely gonna get better. Week one was in the books and it's been going great. There's a lot of good games out there for week one, a lot of good college football going on, but we got even better week two with a renewal of a rivalry. The border showdown is back. KU versus Mizzou, the hated rivalry. I have no parts of this rivalry at all.
Let me take over, y'all.
I'm very neutral, but I will say when it comes down, if I have to decide to who to root for, I do side on the Mizzou side, just because I'm from Missouri or whatever. So I'll be rooting for you guys. I hate KU. Hopefully y'all go out there and dominate. Please do, because I've been hearing a lot of talk from the Jayhawk fans about them going 2-0 against Fresno State and Wagner. And they're doing a lot of talking right now. They're definitely hyped and pumped for this game. Our guy CJ is just jumping in with us now too. As well. Right. So we're about to get it started. You want to go ahead and introduce our guest?
Let's do it, man. We're talking to, this is a very, very special guest, guys. We are talking to a guy who's been bleeding black and gold since 2003, maybe even beyond then. He's a guy who is a former KMU student. He's been with the site since August of 2003, not 2023, 2003. Been a publisher of the site since 2006. He's a Mizzou alum. He's been a guy who's been here for all these great recruiting cycles for Missouri. I'm talking about from the Chase Daniel to the Blaine Gabbert to the James Franklin to the Williams Winery to the Terry Beckner to Matt Zollers. Every Mizzou basketball, football, whatever sport you could ever think of, he's been there reporting about it and giving out great content about it. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing up the legendary Gabe DeArmond from Power Mizzou.
I'm hiring you as my agent. That's the nicest intro. Hey, the job does not pay, but I will appreciate it.
I'm good with it. Yeah.
Hey, DG. You know how I knew you said you didn't have any stake in this rivalry because you did the corporate thing and you called it the border showdown. We don't. That's
border showdown is crazy.
We're not doing that. Like go back to 2007.
I have no enemy in this.
Yeah, but this started in the Civil War. Like it's legitimately bloodshed.
Yes,
showdown. They didn't call it the Civil Showdown or
the War
Showdown, World Showdown 2.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So as we get into it, number one, Gabe, tell us about your story, how you got into being the big guy we know you to be as the publisher of Power Mizzou. Just tell us something about that.
So I grew up, my dad actually covered, he worked at Kansas City Star for 40 years, and he covered Mizzou from 1990 to 2012. And I knew I wanted to work in sports. And the one thing people always tell me that they only watch me on YouTube, when they meet me in person, they're like, I really thought you were going to be a lot taller than this, So I'm not tall enough, fast enough, or in good enough shape to actually play a sport. So I had to find a way. Yeah. I went to Mizzou for the journalism school. I had goals at 22 years old. I thought about 8 years I'll be on SportsCenter. I'll be sitting next to, Dan Patrick, Keith Overman, whoever it was. That did not work out particularly well. But would have been, I was about 26, 27, got a call from the guy that was running Power Mizzou at the time named John Kirby. He hired me to come on and kind of be his number two guy at the time, moved back to Columbia, and just kind of hit a point where I said, hey, I'm my own boss. Nobody ever tells me what to do, and I make enough money to feed my family, so I don't need to be looking for other jobs. And now I'm not good enough at anything else. So.
Look, I might need your connection because look, that's something that you're talking about my story, but we're not gonna talk too much into that.
It's not the easiest business in the world to get into. I know that.
No, it is not. No, it is not. But as we get into this whole thing, just from a publisher standpoint of it, we talking so much. We're talking about a renewed rivalry between Mizzou and KU, which I can remember I think my very first, part of the main reason why I became a Mizzou fan was during 2007 when we beat KU at Arrowhead. That was the first ever game I ever watched. I saw a team in white, and they had some cool jerseys, and they had a cool logo, and my parents were rooting against them, even though they went to KU. And it was from then on, I've been a Mizzou fan since the day I died, since the day it was that day. Yeah.
The first game you ever watched being the 2007 MU-KU game is like the guy that's like, I only bought one lottery ticket, man. I won $5 million on it, but I'm going to keep playing, right? I'm going to keep playing because it's never going to be that again. Like, if that's your first game, it can only get worse from there. Because the reason, like, we're doing a lot of stuff on our channel about the 2007 game this week. Actually, just put up a podcast with Lorenzo Williams this morning, and it's gonna kind of lead up to talk to Gary Pinkel, and that's going to be on Friday, talking about that 2007 game.
Yeah.
And like, that was one of those things that you just knew, man, this is the best it's ever going to be. Like, for people my age, I was born in 1976, and I grew up and I don't know if any of you guys know this, Missouri, Kansas, and Kansas State, when I was growing up, was referred to as the Bermuda Triangle of college football.
Yeah.
Because it was like 200 square miles. And if you went 2-9, that was great because it meant you beat the other two because you damn sure weren't beating anybody else. And so that, 2007, it wasn't just Missouri's number 4 and, has all these chances and this kid in the Heisman race and all that. It was also that the team on the other side was KU, which had been every bit as bad as Missouri for most of the time. And, we just when I talked to Pinkel, he said he told the team that day, look, they might play games that are this big in the future, but they're never playing one that's any bigger. Right. And to be able to be a part of that, like that was the day you just kind of knew it's never getting better than this, man.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
I was at that game. That was extremely cold, but it was definitely well worth it for sure.
It was definitely cold.
Yeah, I remember that game vividly. Jeremy Macklin was one of my favorite players. Chase Daniel being in that game, like it was a great time for Mizzou.
Chase Kaufman's my guy. That's my guy for sure.
Right.
Best hands I've ever seen in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Chase Kaufman.
Absolutely, that's my guy.
Honestly. Go ahead, DJ.
No, I was going to ask. So being that you've been kind of around Mizzou football for a while now, what's been some of your best memories of this historic rivalry to this point in day, and how happy are you to see this rivalry come back to fruition now since 2011?
Yeah, I mean, the 2007 game has to go kind of like in its own category, right? That's a different deal. It would have been the year after I graduated from Mizzou in 1998, and I stuck around KU. My boss at the time, his dad was dealing with some health problems, so he needed somebody to stick around and help out for football season. So I stayed for 6 months. I stayed for that next football season. The last thing I did at KU before I moved away was the Insight Bowl against West Virginia. And so that year against Kansas, Devin West ran for, I should know the number off the top of my head, but I know it's over 300 yards. It was a single game record. And Devin was I loved that guy. I loved watching him play football. And he grew up in Moberly with actually a lot of guys I was friends with in college. So he was always one of my favorites. So that's up there. The 2009 game tomorrow, I'm actually recording it tonight. I'm doing something with Denario Alexander. The 2009 game, he had 15 catches for 233 yards, and he wasn't the leading receiver in the game because Desmond Briscoe had like 240 for KU. And it was just like every single drive was like, hey, we know one of these guys is scoring. It's just a matter of long play, short play, what it is. So those are probably the ones that stick out. And, as far as they come back, I think it's great because like there's people my age who have seen this thing and remember it and know what it was. There's going to be a whole bunch of people there on Saturday that have never seen this thing. And I don't think it's quite the same, right? You're not in the same league. You're not battling in the standings, all that. But I thought that about basketball too. And then I went to the first one in Allen Fieldhouse where Bill Self spent like 10 years telling everybody he didn't care and it didn't matter. And they took the ball and went home. And then you saw those KU fans that day and you knew it mattered, man. They played the Grandpa Simpson intro and they ripped up the newspapers and turned their back. And then the one here last year that Missouri finally won a game, that was as electric as anything I've seen. So it still matters, even though it's a little bit different.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I agree. You talked about the amount of people who probably don't know about the border war. Do you feel like it kind of takes into account with the coaches and the players in a little bit? Because, I mean, as much as we love drink isn't really all that familiar. And I already know Lance Leipold, he's a guy who's probably not that familiar. Do you feel like maybe the coaches don't see it, or do you feel like there might be a bit of adjustment compared to when Pinkel was there?
Yeah, I think like you can think but it's a little bit different once it starts, right? Like I remember the first year Dennis Gates played Kansas in basketball. Like all leading up to it, it was, hey, I know it's a rivalry, but like this is just the next team on the schedule for our team. And I thought, that's not this. No, it isn't, right? And I mean, Missouri got run out the gym that day. And I'm not saying that's why. Like Kansas had better players. Dennis Gates could have done a fire and brimstone speech and burned Jayhawks before practice, and they still might have got beat. But I think then going into last year, he changed his tune. He's like, oh, no, I get it now. So I think there'll be a little bit of that. But I know Eli Drinkwitz, somebody just told me yesterday, he has for weeks been bringing in different speakers every Friday to talk to his team about this rivalry specifically. I know Andy Hill talked to the team. I would guess probably Gary Pinkel has at some point. You know, he's got Evan Boehm on his staff who didn't actually play in this, but he grew up in Kansas City and his dad was a Mizzou guy. So I'm sure he has an appreciation for it. Brock Olivo's on the staff. I know Brock gets this thing to the fullest. So I think there's some guys, but until you go out there and you're part of it, it probably doesn't really hit.
Right.
Yeah. I know the atmosphere will be definitely electric in Columbia. It's in Columbia, correct?
Yep.
It is.
Sold out.
Yeah, electric in that place. You know how great of a stadium and environment for college football that place has been. So I expect it to be full go. What would you say leading into this game for Eli Drinkwitz and them would be the keys to victory for them to take home a win against KU?
I think number one, after week one, I've got some questions about the offensive line. It got better, but like there was a period of time right after Sam Horn got hurt, Bo Pribula took about 4 straight hits that I was like, somebody's got to tell that kid to get on the ground because they need a quarterback. They can't have Matt Zoller starting next week.
Right.
You know, I thought Bo was going to be not upright by the end of that game for a minute, and that was Central Arkansas. Now they got better. I think number 2 is like make a big deal of this without making too big a deal of it, right? You don't want your guys to be like you can't peak 2 hours before kickoff. You know, I think Missouri's the more talented team. I think almost anybody would say that. But upsets happen every week. And then number 3 is the key for every team that plays Kansas. Like, even though Missouri's got the edge at most positions, Jalen Daniels a guy that can go out and win a football game by himself at times. So you've got to make sure that if he's going to beat you, you make him beat you from the pocket. You know, you cannot let him be running all over the football.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree because it's like even though like we've seen what Kansas can be, which is they can be a running back by committee team. A lot of people can get the touches in different positions, and whatnot. And I think that especially even though we only played one game, I think Missouri showed a lot of great stuff there. Not only with a few guys, with not only with Kevin Coleman, with Bo Pribula, with Keys, even Josh. But I think that honestly, and I wanted to get your point on this on the Missouri offensive side. I think that the biggest highlight was Ahmad Hardy, and my question probably would be, how important is he? And what type of situation are we going to be seeing a lot of him in?
He's huge. He only had 10 carries, in the first game, which is, I think, good. Like, he can give you 25 carries if you need him to, but if you need that against Central Arkansas, you got problems. So had 10 carries for 100. I think he's the key to the whole thing because, like, I think both a good passer, but I don't think he's a guy that if you take away the running game, he's just going to sit in the pocket and probably beat power conference teams, with his arm every single week. Like, there's got to be some balance, and that's not an insult to him. That's true of most teams. But yeah, I think last week was very much let's get Hardy's feet wet and let's give him some light cardio to get a sweat up and feel like a part of the team. And then there's going to be a week where you need him for 30 carries. You hope it's not this week, but if it is, it's time to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I agree.
Yeah, one question I would have. I know both quarterbacks obviously can use their legs to beat you. Obviously, it's been a long time since a matchup like Todd Reesing and Chase Daniel, which is light years away. As far as like this year, both quarterbacks are very athletic. We don't want to see either one get hurt. We want to see a good game. Which quarterback do you think has the best set of weapons to take the pressure off so they don't have to run the ball as much?
I mean, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on KU's depth chart. I just think like it takes when you cover the same team every day, like all of your energy goes into that team, right? Like I couldn't name 7 guys on South Carolina, and Missouri plays them in 3 weeks. Now, hopefully that week I'll be able to name 7. But right now I can name 2. And so, but again, I think I'm not sure at what position I would look at this game and say I think KU has a clear advantage, especially because they lost a guy that I think was supposed to be their best pass rusher coming into this game. They lost him in practice last week. So I think Bo Prabula has more around him. But again, it's like quarterback is weighted so heavily. Like everything matters, and then quarterback matters like way more than all of them. I mean, we've all watched a team that it's like, yeah, clearly everything. Diego Pavia at Vandy is the best example, right? Like I've said, Diego Pavia is keeping somebody out of the playoff this year. Like he beat Alabama last year, and Alabama was better everywhere else, but Diego Pavia just wrecked that game. And so, Jalen Daniels on the right day can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I was also going to, I know I'm keeping on the offensive side of the ball. We saw a little bit of Brett Norfleet. Do you feel like Drink and Kirby going to up a little bit more of Brett, or you feel like it's kind of like the same way that Missouri was against Central Arkansas? Yeah,
we're going on 4 years now of Eli Drinkwitz and his staff telling me in the preseason we want to use the tight end.
Yeah,
I mean, awesome, but you got to do it before I'm going to believe it's going to happen. And Brett's got to stay on the field, right? Like, I mean, he took a hit. The first catch he had last week, he took a hit and he stayed down for a couple minutes, and I just said, This can't happen on the first hit you take all season to a guy that's lost 2 years to injury. Like, it's not his fault, but guys develop that reputation usually for a reason. So it was good to see him get back up. Good to see him make a couple catches. I've always said, like, the difference between a good offense and an elite offense is the tight end. Like, everybody has skill position players. If you've got a good line, things can work. But the thing that makes an offense unguardable is when you have that safety valve for the quarterback playing tight end that is too big for the safeties and too fast for the linebackers. I don't know if Missouri has that yet or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Gabe, we've obviously – go ahead, CJ, my bad.
No, I was about to say middle of the field. That's where you win the games. We talk that whenever we do our NFL breakdown, Gabe, so I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've obviously this whole panel up here has been around for the Gary Pinkel days and how successful Mizzou was back in those times.
I love GP. He recruited me out of high school. Right. So he always got a story. That's my guy.
Seeing Eli Drinkwitz come in and be the head coach, what would you feel like are some similarities and some differences of how they both shape these programs to what they are, to what it is today?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, Pinkel was a guy, if you asked, like, what's the date today? September 1st. if I asked Gary Pinkel on September 1st, hey, what are you doing on March 17th? He would pull out his notebook and he would tell me what he was doing every hour that day. Like everything was so regimented and planned. And he told us for 3 years when they weren't winning, like, guys, this works. I know this works because it worked at Toledo and it worked at Washington and it's going to work. You know, and so the question I had about Drink, like he came in here and he landed all these dudes and the recruiting was flashy and all that. And the results hadn't shown up on the field yet, but fans were excited about the recruiting. And I said, here's what I don't know about Eli Drinkwitz. Like, can he run a program? Right? Because he didn't run App State. App State was not his program. He went 11-1 with somebody else's guys. And that's not disrespect to him. It's just the fact when you go in for a year. So I said, I want to see if he can build this thing and get the, you know, I hate the word culture because I think too many people use it, but get a locker room behind it and get guys all pulling in the same direction and get guys to believe. And that, you know, that finally came together in 2023. And, you know, Gary had this thing to the point where the bad years were 8 wins. And like, I think Missouri fans would be a little disappointed if this team wins 8 games. But if that's your step back, if that's your rebuilding year, your program's in a hell of a spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean that's from a fan's perspective, which is going to help me lead to my next question. From a fan's perspective, people from the outside, they don't believe that. They think that the last 2 years of Missouri having 10-win seasons are either benefit from a weaker schedule or just because of the fact that, you know, quote unquote lucky, which we don't know how more you can do that. But in this third consecutive year, does Missouri have to have 10 wins to get into the college football playoff as what you've seen? Or do you think that as things progress, just seeing how it is, they can potentially do it?
I'm not sure anybody can get in at 9-3, but I know Missouri can't get in at 9-3. Like and people say weak schedule, and Missouri fans get mad about it. And I got to say over and over, it's not a weak schedule. Like if you were in the Big 12, this is the best or the second best schedule.
Yeah.
You're not in the Big 12. You're in the SEC, and it's the 15th or 16th best schedule in the SEC. It's just like if the top 4 teams, and this probably sounds stupid after last week, but if the top 4 teams in this league are supposed to be Georgia, LSU, Texas, and Alabama, Missouri only plays one of them. And after last week, I think they might play the worst one of them. Yep. And then the bottom 4 teams in this league are supposed to be Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt, and Missouri plays 3 of them. So,
it's looking good.
You know, for the SEC, but nobody should have. Like, I didn't see Kurt Cignetti in Indiana apologizing before their college football playoff game for getting in there by beating no one. You take that. Who cares, man?
Exactly.
And then you go take your shot against whoever you play that day. The only goal is to get in. So, but no, Missouri cannot get there at 9-3.
I agree. I think this is gonna lead me to another one, and I think that DG or CJ, if you got a question there. When it comes to playing, when we can go back to week 2 again. How much if Mizzou is what is a statement win to you if Missouri is able to not only win this game? What is probably the margin that will probably put college football on notice to probably maybe say, okay, this team is a little bit more dangerous than we think they are?
September 20th against South Carolina. Like, I don't know that I don't know that there's anything they can do this weekend. Like, don't get me wrong. You go out and beat KU 51-7. Yeah, people are going to take notice, but and whatever. Eli Drinkwitz can't say things, but it doesn't matter. Game like Kansas, Lance Leipold he's done like borderline miracles there to have KU where it is after where it was when he got there. I think he's done a phenomenal job, but it is not at a point where, you know, you're going to hold that up. Well, we deserve this because we beat Kansas. Like that program isn't there yet. You know,
exactly.
I think, you know, if you can go out and win this game by a couple scores, I think it's a good solid win. And at the end of the year, who knows? Maybe it looks better than it looks today. But I don't know that Missouri can do much of anything this weekend that is going to make anybody that doesn't believe in them believe in them.
Facts.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I have one question. As far as like all time, give me your Mount Rushmore of Mizzou football players. We get 4 guys. I know it's going to be extremely tough. I think I know 2 of them you're going to pick, but give me 4 guys. This is going to be a good
All right, so I can't like pick 4 and then give one guy his own mountain, right?
I mean,
it's just got to be
out of respect.
Yeah, you can.
We'll let you do that.
because like the guy that the reason Missouri football is where it is today, or is where it was in 2007 or 2010, is Brad Smith. Brad Smith alone,
legend,
like
for sure.
This guy. I wrote a story in 2023. It was the 20-year anniversary of his first game against Illinois, and like all of his teammates will say, this doesn't happen if Brad isn't who Brad was. Gary Pinkel and Dave Christensen both told me, I don't know if we're still coaching for Chase Daniel to be there if Brad Smith hadn't done what he did. So he is number one with a bullet on my list. And I always do these lists like, look, I'm sure Kellen Winslow and Phil Bradley and Paul Chrisman were great football players. I never saw them. Like I don't know. So I just do it during, like, it's got to be 1985 and later. So Brad is there, Chase is there, Justin Smith has to be there, I think.
Great pick.
I watched him as a true freshman in Boulder, Colorado, tackle the quarterback, and the quarterback had pitched the ball on the option, and then he got up and tackled the running back for a loss, which not many dudes do that. He's I don't know that he'll make it in, but he's a borderline NFL Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
I think. And then
he's so good.
Man, the fourth guy is so tough. I think the right answer is probably Jeremy Maclin.
J-Man.
Yeah.
But
I like J-Man.
the guy that I'm telling you, he's the best. He had the best individual season I've ever seen, and he's the best pure football player and athlete I've ever seen here, was Denario Alexander. Like, that guy was blessed with every gift God could give an athlete except for 2 decent knees. And if he had those, he would have set records everywhere.
Yeah. Knee injuries killed him too. Yeah. Honorable mention Alden Smith, just because that's my guy.
Yeah.
Honorable.
Absolutely. And it's like, it's tough to assess Alden because of how it ended up, right? And
I know.
We didn't get to see him for very long in the NFL, and the headlines ended up all being the wrong kind of headlines. And Alden I covered his recruiting. He was always a good kid to me, always gave me time and all that, and always rooted for him. And whatever's going on now, hope he's got all that figured out, even if the football didn't quite go the way people wanted it to.
Absolutely. Another Hall of Famer in my book. If he would have, him and Justin and Stanford together were so special.
You give Alden 5 more years of, just getting straight off the field and playing football, he would have been there.
Absolutely.
Gabe, before we get you out of here, give us one player on this team this year. Obviously, we talked about the quarterback and the offensive side. Give us one player on that defense that not enough people are talking about.
Not enough people are talking about. Let's see, because everybody's talking about Damon Wilson, right?
Yes.
I think a lot of people are talking about Josiah Trotter, the linebacker from West Virginia. The guy that I'll tell you, we heard his name more than anybody else during camp, was Khalil Jacobs at linebacker. This is a kid, like, at some point, just go find a picture of Khalil Jacobs' biceps. It'll tell you why he's a good player. Like, it is freaky. But he played about 5 games last year and got hurt against UMass and was out the rest of the year. And like, everybody on that team brings up his name as a guy who has come back as a much better football player than he was last year.
Khalil Jacobs.
And I agree. My final question for you: we've talked about the on-field. We haven't really talked too much about you. And recruiting-wise, who was your favorite recruit to cover, whether he committed to Mizzou or not?
Okay, so I'm going to answer this in a weird way, because my favorite recruits to cover are the ones that, like, I could just put their picture on our front page and it makes me money. Like, people are going to sign up to read about them, right? Sheldon Richardson's recruitment lasted for 5 years. And don't get me wrong, I hated it a lot of times during those 5 years. But every time Sheldon opened his mouth, he was going to a different school, and it was content gold, man. Sheldon, like, I saw him before his sophomore year in high school at a recruiting camp. And, like, I'm not a scout. It's like, I don't – it's not what I do. But Sheldon, I walked into a camp with about 400 kids, and I just said, holy Moses, who's that guy? Like, that was how different he looked. And then I covered a game. I think it was his junior year in high school. He went to a school called Gateway Tech in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. This dude weighed 290 pounds, and he was returning punts. I saw him run a 4.7 at Missouri's recruiting camp at like 292.
Jesus Lord.
Absolute freak show of an athlete. And like his best year was 2012 when Missouri wasn't very good, but like Sheldon dominated. And Sheldon was a reporter's dream because, man, you put a microphone in front of Sheldon's face and absolutely nobody knew what he was going to say, which is why we didn't get to talk to him very much.
Hey. Sheldon was a dog, though. Great NFL player, too. Love Sheldon.
Yeah, he had a long career.
Facts. I'm glad one time. Absolutely.
Oh, do we what we always do also, I know I keep on saying even though it's already week 1 has already happened, do you have a record prediction for Missouri this year?
Yeah.
So I picked them before the season at 8-4. I was going to pick 9-3. All along, I thought I'm going to pick 9-3, and then they started shuffling the offensive line, and Caden Green had to go out to left tackle, and I just thought, 8-4 feels right. And now, like I just wrote this morning, I can't let a game against Central Arkansas change my mind yet, right? Like they look great, but it's Central Arkansas, guys. Like you have to look great against that.
Exactly.
So if they come out this weekend and win by 30 points, and really it's the South Carolina game. If they win the South Carolina game, I'll change my prediction. I'll say they're a 9-win, maybe even a 10-win team. Because again, like we spend 9 months breaking all this stuff down, and then something happens like Alabama goes out and plays, and you go, well, who are the guys wearing those jerseys? Because that's not Alabama. And so what if Alabama comes here and they're not actually as good as we think they're going to be? That changes the whole season. But my preseason prediction was 8-4. I'm going to stick with it because here's what I've learned over the years. If I undersell it, like if I'm wrong, if they go 10-2 and I said 8-4, like nobody cares. Everybody's so happy they're 10-2, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But if I said 10-2 and they're 8-4, then everybody yells at me and goes, "Why'd you get my hopes up and make me think they were going to be good, man? Exactly. I don't like you anymore." So I just undersell, let them over deliver.
Exactly.
I want you.
So maybe I could have said 6-6.
I think that's what we did when we had our scout. I think we were around the 8-4 range.
Yeah, we were around 8-4. Of course, I was being a homer and saying 10-2 because
you're supposed to do that, man.
There's got to be one in every crowd, man.
Exactly.
It is absolute. Look, you said you guys were from Kansas City. You got a Royals flag back there. Like I went through 25 years of watching a team going, man, wouldn't it be awesome if they could get to 500 this year? That's no fun as a sports fan, man. The fun is
not at all.
Look, that's the guy right there. The guy next to me, he's the guy that he's Mr. what we call overreact.
He's our pessimistic fan in the group chat, Gabe.
Yeah. There you go. Got to be one of those too, right? If everybody agrees, it's no fun, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Gabe, we enjoy having you here today with us, man, and we appreciate you coming on with us. Can you at least, before you go, tell the good people where they can find you and where they can get a lot more Mizzou content at?
Yeah, powermizzou.com. It's on the 24/7 Sports Network, so you can search that too. The Twitter handle is just PowerMizzou.com with no dot in there because like when I signed up for the Twitter account, I couldn't figure out how to put a dot in it, to be quite honest. So that's what that is. And I don't know for sure when this is going out to everybody, but through Tuesday night, it's 75% off your first year. Then for the next week or so, it's going to be 60% off. So it's a good time. I just hired a new writer. He started with us on Monday morning. We got a lot of good stuff happening. So hope everybody come check it out.
Absolutely.
Get my writing skills. See if y'all got an extra position open, even if it's free.
Let's go.
I told you, man. I need a hype man. I need an agent.
I got you.
Okay, thank you for being on with us, man. We appreciate your time. We know you're a busy man, so we'll let you go ahead and get out of here for sure.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot, and make sure to share this with me. I'll make sure to get it out to the people. More people can check it out.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Dude. That's what's up, man.
Gang.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
man. So, guys, obviously KU and Mizzou coming up this week, but we had a lot of action going on in the previous week. We got a game tonight, UNC, and oh man, I just lost my train of thought. UNC,
North Carolina. Yep.
and they take on. Who are they taking on? I'm sorry. TCU. Of course. Play tonight to 7:00. That should be a really exciting game. Bill Belichick's first head coaching game, and
the Fighting Bills.
Yeah, and after a summer full of controversy,
was it really?
No. It was a little bit.
Was it football related? Or was it non-football related? No.
It was non-football related. But yeah. But yeah, that game's going on tonight. But obviously, we had some really good games. LSU and Clemson took on each other for the fight of Real Death Valley. Ohio State and Texas Longhorns. Unfortunately, went to Columbus and took an L. A lot of criticism for the chosen one, Arch Manny, at this point. So yeah, there's a lot of good, exciting things. What excited y'all about week 1, man?
Let me go ahead and start this because I called it. Me and DG, we wanted it to happen, but I took on the heat. FSU got that done, baby. Look, y'all gonna stop disrespecting Tommy Castellanos, man. He looked really good.
Shout out Gus Malzone. He called a hell of a game.
Gus Malzone
called a hell of a game.
Amazing, dude.
For sure. My biggest dub or most exciting game, I definitely was LSU Clemson for sure. Obviously, the way Nuss and that offense. Well, really, the offense looked good and Nuss played well. He was my QB1 coming into the year. But the way LSU's defense played this year, so far it's only one game, miles ahead of what they did the last 2 years. Because we know they've been like bottom ranked in the country. Man, like and they just reload every year, right? Like running back was good, Durham, the receivers, Alexander, Zaire, and the freshmen that they had, they all played well. But the defense overall to shut out Clemson at home in the second half was very, very impressive. I did not expect to see that coming. I thought that game was going to be a lot of points, like going back and forth. So to have no points at all scored by Clemson in the second half was a major shout at LSU defense for sure. They made major strides because usually they've been home run city for running backs and anybody playing quarterback. They couldn't stop a soul the last 2 years. So that was my biggest takeaway from the first week.
We can also add on to this. Lee Corso going undefeated for his final prediction.
Man, called the whole slate. 8-0.
Whole slate.
Yeah, good to see the old ball coach, get one last chance to put the headgear on. That was a good sight to see. It was a good warm feeling of knowing that he got one last opportunity to do that and to know now moving forward. Saturdays won't be the same, man.
Because ain't nobody going. Are they still going to do the head thing? Or are they just going to?
I would like for.
It's going to be weird now.
You would like for somebody would try to take over, but I don't think nobody
let Kirk do it. That was his son. Let Kirk do it.
I don't think you can. You can't get the not so fast.
Not so fast, my friend.
Yeah. So to see Lee go out, man, it was an incredible sight to see. But at the same time, Saturdays just won't be the same without Lee Corso, man, and him putting on that headgear. Especially as when I was a kid. Being a kid and watching that was an exciting time. Waking up in the morning to watch college game days in the morning will never be the same. So, man, great career for the one Lee Corso, man. Hopefully he enjoys retirement and is able to still enjoy some good football this year too as well. So, but yeah, man.
32 years now? I think it started in 93. That's when it started.
Yeah, and I think the first. Did they say the story was the first headgear was the Ohio State?
First headgear was Ohio State.
The very first one, very last one. So that was perfect.
He had to try to get in contact with Kirk Herbstreit at that point in time, and that's
like, hey, can we get the head? I'm like, I don't know about that one.
They developed their relationship, so yeah, man, it was awesome to see that, and I'm glad Fox, even though I know that those two networks battle for ratings. I'm glad Fox was respectable enough to put that on their channel as well to allow the whole nation to kind of see that. That was a great moment for
Kirk was big emotional, so that's a dude we've been sitting alongside for 30 years. That's definitely like a father figure for sure. It's gonna be weird not seeing him on there. It's gonna be
as an opposing fan of the, obviously of the away team.
It was respectful.
Just respect.
I mean, you can't hate on him because he put on the headgear for everybody in here except Kansas.
Dang. He never put on the KU on there?
He ain't never put on the KU.
He never picked y'all.
He never had y'all. He had Mizzou when it was Mizzou KU. He put on the Mizzou Tiger.
Well, he picking it.
Yeah.
So
obviously, like I said, week 1 had a lot of fireworks, but also week 1 had some criticism as well too. My Texas Longhorns walked into Columbus, Ohio, and suffered defeat. Pretty, I will say, decent game as far as how it was played between both teams or whatever, but very competitive game. But obviously when you have a lot of hype, and you're the number 1 team in the country, and people are clamoring for you and things of that nature, so you have to show up to perform. And unfortunately, that did not happen for about 3.5-ish quarters, especially offensively. Archimedes, I thought, I thought there were points in times where he looked rattled. I think the road environment did kind of get to him to a certain extent. And then I thought there were some points where he flashed a little bit of how great he could actually be. But I think a lot of people really learned Saturday that they need to temper their expectations about him coming out this year. And I think those rumors and those thoughts kind of circulated back now. And I think everybody's like, okay, maybe now we need to really give it 2 years before. I will say shout out to Matt Patricia, man. He called a great game.
Hell of a game.
Ohio State. That defense, that secondary is incredible. Caleb Downs is probably arguably the best defensive player in the nation. Hands down. He was everywhere. They were literally I don't think they literally have a position for him in their defense. He just gets to roam and go wherever he wants to. He's just that talented and that smart, and he literally took away a lot of things that we really like to do, just with how intelligent he really is. I was really extremely impressed by that Ohio State secondary and how prepared they were. What were y'all thoughts on Archimedes's performance in the game overall?
I think Arch, I put a lot of things on Sark because I think Sark put some dumb situations like, why are you running a QB sneak on 4th and 1 on the goal line? Like you literally had CJ Baxter. You could have pulled back and done RPO. You could have done a lot of different things, but you're trying to do is you're trying to stack the box and you're trying to go off and trying to push Arch into the end zone. That wasn't going to work out. I think that he made some solid reads. He made some good throws, especially he was throwing to I forgot y'all tight end's last name. But that throw to the tight end, on the outside shoulder, like not a lot of quarterbacks can make that throw. So I mean, he showed flashes.
Best throw of the day for sure.
Yeah, that was by far the best throw.
That was a dime.
I think that his ball placement to Ryan Wingo wasn't good because, I mean, I get it, you're getting pressured, but when you got a guy of his speed and his caliber, you got to throw in front of him. Like, I know, like, you don't want to ever do that, but when you got a guy who runs about a 4.3, 4.29 speed,
put it up there.
Yeah, you got to put it in front of him. Let him go get it. But I'm not the type, because I did see in the middle of the game that they lowered his odds from the Heisman from plus 500 to plus 1,000. Like, you don't double that off
just like that, huh? That's
like you dropped it that low. But I mean, still, I think that even then, like, if Arch comes back around and he goes scorched earth and wins the Heisman, whoever takes up on them plus 1,000.
No, it'd be good odds. I think overall, I mean, we in here didn't really go crazy. We know DG, the expectations were unwarranted. Not to say he's not worthy of having the expectation, because I think he is that type of talent to have those put those expectations on himself. But to have talk about he's going to win the Heisman, number 1 pick, I'm like, you haven't even seen him play a full season to say any of those things about any quarterback. So, and we knew coming into the season when we ranked our quarterbacks, we said there's a lot of question marks about a lot of guys. There's really nobody that has like no question marks about his game. So everyone needed to get better. From the offensive standpoint, DG, I think the line held up pretty well. I didn't think Arch was like flustered too much. I think your O-line, for losing guys like Kelvin Banks and some other starters, you held up decently well from a Ohio State-led defense. I think the running game could have been better for sure. I think Wiseman made a couple really good runs, some cutbacks. He kind of made some plays out of nothing. I would have liked to seen them use Arch's legs more in the run game. I thought that would have been more of an option, maybe some read option, speed options, quarterback powers. I know you don't want to expose him to too many hits, but you saw it even in the game last night with Notre Dame Miami. When CJ Carr got into the red zone, they had Love doing lead, and then obviously Cub was doing quarterback power. So things like that you could use to give the defense a different look, more so that, we're going to QB sneak it 2 times in a row, and the whole world knows we're going to do it. So give them a different look to show it. So there were some drops in the game that could have helped out Arch. It's not all on Arch, but obviously there were a lot of missed throws. The deep out, obviously, to get a first down, the drag, the wingo, the corner out to the what's the white boy that caught the touchdown, DG, number 13?
Livingston.
Parker Livingston. Yeah.
Livingston, like he made a great play on that touchdown catch, but the one before that they threw could have been a big play as well. So there's a lot of mistakes that they made, but like DG said earlier, that's probably one of the best secondaries, if not the best secondary in the country you're going against. And you had an NFL coordinator in Patricia who got the game plan for you all summer for 3 straight months. So of course he's going to have a good game plan to go up against you. So I'm not too down on Arch. I think he'll be better. I'm really not worried. Obviously there were some bad throws I wish he could take back, but he made some good plays. That last drive, I like the way he progressed and moved the ball down the field. I would like to see him, DG, play faster, bro. I don't like huddling up when I'm struggling. I don't like doing that because it gives the defense a chance to like key in on what I don't like to do. I like to all right, they had a secondary look. I liked it. Let's make them go again. And you can play out of that same look. And then you can't rotate D linemen, and then guys get tired. And they didn't get that rhythm until the third or really the fourth quarter. I'm like, you should have been going to a huddle to start the game to give yourself in rhythm. So I think Sark will watch the film and get better, but no reason to need to overreact, honestly. It's just one game. I think they'll be fine. And you get a tune-up game this week, which would have been better if it would have been opposite. If you'd had the tune-up game week 1 and then played Ohio State, you had to go play the big dogs week 1, and now you get it. So you'll be fine, man. You got 11 more games. So
that's – go ahead, sir. My bad.
I was just gonna say the obvious, which is basically y'all played the defending national champion. Ain't nobody
at home, bro. Like, come on.
Ain't nobody. Now, if you would have won and Arch looked bad, that just would have made people be like, all right, Texas. Even with Arch looking bad, Texas won this game.
Exactly. Y'all be fine though.
No, I left that game. I obviously you're upset about losing. You never want to lose, Sure. But I left that game, but there was positives I felt like that you could take away from it for sure. I still think Texas is arguably one of the best teams in the nation. I don't think that they should be, as far as team base, they should be criticized too much as taking on the number 3
defense played
team in the nation.
Defense
was incredible. I want to say Grayson Littleton, for him to be a true freshman, an 18-year-old kid, and to put him in that environment and then tell him, hey, go line up against the best receiver in the nation and play against him. I don't know if I was a coach, I ever would have put a kid in that type of situation or anything like that. But for him to thrive in it and make some great plays, was incredible. Obviously, the second play that he was able to make, Colin Simmons, who did a lot of talking before the game, obviously ruined that play for him. But to see him be in position, he's everything that they've pretty much talked him up to be since coming out of Tampa as a freshman, and I can't wait to see how much he grows over the year. I think defensively, we played really well. I think we did a good job of stopping the run at certain points in times. I think that Malik Muhammad, as far as he got a lot of criticism last year for his cover skills and things of that nature, I thought he did a really good job at points. I will say I appreciate the refs in this game for letting the receivers and DBs kind of go at it and not being too ticky-tack with certain calls, even though Ohio State only had 1 penalty the whole entire game.
That's crazy.
It was crazy to me. But I didn't feel like it was like home cooking for them. I just thought they went out. They really executed really well. I think Ryan Day had his guys prepared and ready to play that game, and they were really enjoying the environment. I think moving forward, It's like you said, CJ. I think that for Sark and Arch, they got to get started faster, and they talked about that after the game. You got to get into what you like a lot quicker. I think that Sark could do him a lot more favors of getting him more comfortable with some easier throws. I love the first play that we ran with the crosser of the middle. I love that play.
Great
but
concept.
I think that for that environment, that might not have been the right thing to call at that point in time. I know it's a play that you get Arch rolling, especially to his strong side, but I think mechanically right now there's still some issues that Arch has got to figure out. And this is why I've been telling people to kind of temper your expectations of him coming out this year, because, he's still a kid at the end of the day. He started, and I told people this as well too, like he started, 3 games last year or whatever against lower tier competition. Obviously we did get to see him play, but there were points in times where you could still see some mechanical issues, some things that he really needs to fix and get corrected. So I think a lot of that showed in this game as well too. The multiple times I seen him throw off his back foot, was pissing me off. Because I just know he can be a lot better. The better throws that he had, you see him throw from his front foot. You see him be a lot more confident, especially to throw down the sideline to injuries down the sideline. Yeah, you got to step into some of these throws. The 3rd and 5 to Wingo twice in the game. You pretty much dirt the ball, or you throw it behind him. Wingo's the type of guy you got to lead him. You got to throw him open, and just let him do the rest. Trust your guys. Trust your guys to make the plays. I also thought that there were some decision making issues that he kind of had, and I think that was kind of due to an environment. You're excited, this is your first time. The national media is watching you. Everybody in the nation is kind of watching you, and I think that there were some decisions that he made that, he'll go back on film and he'll look and like, okay, I probably should have went here. The biggest one I think was that 4th and 3 in the red zone when he threw to Parker, and I think that was a great ball to Parker to get that to the back of the play. But originally the play is supposed to go to Ryan Wingo there, and Ryan Wingo, if you hit him on that slant in stride, he's scoring. Like, I don't know if there's many people. You got him in a safety in between the end zone. If he doesn't score on that, he at least picks up the first down, and we get a fresh set of downs to work with. So I think with Arch moving forward is going to have to learn that on crucial downs, when it's 3rd and 5, when it's 3rd and 4, or it's 4th and 3 or whatever, you need to be looking for 1 and 88. Those are your 2 best receiving options at this point. If those guys aren't open, then you need to be using your legs. And there was a lot of times where I felt like he took some sacks that he shouldn't have taken. Step up in the pocket, man. Use your legs. We seen how athletic he can be. He had that one big run down the sideline where he shook a guy, and I was like, see, there you go.
All the time, do that.
Yeah. That's the greatness. That's what we saw him coming out of high school in New Orleans or whatever. I've seen a lot of people talking about the competition that he played in high school and kind of trying to correlate that with now. I don't think that has to do with anything that's going on now. I think what you saw on Saturday was a kid who's very talented but still a kid. And it's still got a lot of growth to learn. And I was just talking to Trey before the pod came on, and we looked at his uncle Peyton, and his first start against number 10 Alabama was pretty much the same type of game.
Look rough.
So I think there's for my people that are Texas fans or whatever, I think moving forward, you're going to know that this year is going to be some growing pains at certain points in time. You're going to see some things that, he's going to do mechanically that you're not going to like. And I think that a lot of people just need to scale it back some and make sure we really get a full evaluation of his game before we start hyping him up to be the number one pick or hyping him up to be this Heisman Trophy winner. I still think that he can do all those things. I still think the sky's the limit for him. I think he's got the potential to do that. He's got the team to obviously do it. And I think Texas is going to be fine. I think moving forward, that defense is going to keep them in a lot of games this year. I think Arch has to learn that he doesn't have to be the hero. You got to just go out there and just play your game and do what you know how to do at best. As far as Steve Sarkisian, man, get into your playbook a lot quicker, bro. Like there was points in time Sark, and I don't know what happens in the red zone, but we got to get this figured out because this has been the last 3 years.
Red zone calls,
red zone woes that we're having. Like it's nothing for us.
Why don't y'all run sprint out, bro? Sprint out is the most basic concept in the red zone, and it's money. And they running man, and I could do one little motion indicator. Okay, they running man. I got you. We run a sprint out. It's a ball, corner, and a flat. It's very simple, and it's an easy read, high low.
That's why I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. Like when Quinn was there, we did that a lot with Matthew Golden. We did that with Adonai Mitchell. Those guys, because they were more of those types of receivers. I don't know if it's the personnel this year. Maybe Sark doesn't feel comfortable with DeAndre Moore or Ryan Wingo doing those types of things because both of those guys are more speed guys. And
who would be the best contested catch guy for y'all? You would think for a tough catch, go up and get it.
It probably has to be Parker. Either Parker or Indris, our tight end.
Okay.
I could see. I think that now that guy, he's a hell of a transfer for us. I think that was a hell of a pickup for us to get him. I think obviously Gunnar Helm last year was good time or whatever. I think Jack is gonna be a dominant force.
He can move
for us moving forward. Yeah, he can do a lot of great things in the receiving game, and I think Arch just has to learn to really trust him, which was surprising because like him and Ryan Wingo played so much with each other in practice reps, and that's why I was surprised at like all the balls that were going in the dirt or behind Ryan. Like you guys have this chemistry. Like how did that all crumble?
Yeah, that was very weird. Like the flat route, the drag. I'm like, why are you throwing? Like, I give you one short ball. Okay, I'm nervous. Get my jitters off. Okay, shake my hands, get it off. He was throwing balls short in the third quarter. I'm like, Arch, what's wrong with you, bro? We 20 throws in. You shouldn't be dirting balls no more. That was very weird. Like I know if he had arm fatigue, was his shoulder tired, or I was like, you should be dirting this many balls in the third quarter. Like that's too much, bro.
Yeah, I think ultimately what you just saw was nerves, man.
He was shooting.
Got to him. There were especially the last 3rd and 5. I think that mental clock starts to work in your head, and if you go back and look at that play, you can the way he throws the ball, you can see he's thinking pressure is coming from his left side, and so I got to get this ball out fast, and I may not be able to step into the throw. Which is funny because on the 4th and 5, you get the pressure and you still able to get the ball out. Not for a first down.
It was so backwards.
But for him to have the strength to be able to get that pass out of his hand, like if you just would have stepped in to the throw to Ryan Wingo maybe hitting his head on the goalpost after that play, or we don't know how, but obviously there was still a lot of. I think Wingo probably had one man to beat after that play or whatever, but he at least would have been able to pick up the first down and maybe a little bit more. But moving forward, man, I think that they'll be fine. The running game obviously looked very well. C.J. Wisner, I think, in Cedric back, Travion Wisner. I'm sorry, Trey Wisner. And CJ Baxter, I think, are going to be a great combo together.
CJ looks healthy too. Good to see him back. CJ looks healthy.
I was going to say, I think for that game, CJ should have got predominantly more of the touches.
Yeah.
I think that obviously Trey Wisner played really well last year, and I think Sarkisian trusts him a lot. But I think that was more of a CJ Baxter game for him to be in and get predominantly more of the touches. So yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward. I'm gonna say prayers for San Jose State because
about to get 70 put on y'all.
Yeah, they might. Look, if we go out and if it's a close game to San Jose State, then I think people can panic. But I just think San Jose State is in for a reckoning.
It may get ugly. It may get ugly.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. You know, the funny part is I woke up this morning and that game is going to be on ABC at 11 o'clock. I was like, why is Texas and San Jose State
on ABC?
On ABC in the middle.
You gonna embarrass them kids on national television? Boy, I feel sorry for them San Jose parents.
I said, this is disgusting work by the NCAA to put this game on national television to watch them go up against a very angry and I mean
pissed off team for sure.
Very pissed off coming into this game. So
bet the team total,
yeah,
DG. Bet the first half team total. Whatever it is, take the over.
Like
they about to put up 30 on them in the
is this done a second time where we got to ridicule it? First it was Fresno and Kansas on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Now
that's week 0. You have to put it's your first game. It's your first game.
You put Utah State and UNLV on their website.
I'm saying because week 0 there was only like 5 games on that day.
Do it again.
There was only like 5 It was like 5 games. She said, "Do it again." I know you don't like it. You're supposed to, but I mean, like for this game should not be on ABC. This is an ESPN3, ESPNU. This should not be on ABC, a national televised game. They're going to be about 30 by the second quarter. Like, what are we doing?
I'm going to be on
definitely an SEC network game
by 12 o'clock.
This should not be national televised. I know there's not that many, and I looked at the slate this week. If y'all want to break it down before, like a little preview, the week it's not great. The only really good game is Oklahoma, Michigan. But this game, I mean, I guess they want to put Arch because he has the TV factor. But this game should not be on national television.
This is disgusting.
Yeah. I looked at that this morning. And I was like, that is very much nasty work by the NCAA to put that game middle.
Y'all paid them to embarrass them on national television.
Yeah. So San Jose. So thoughts and prayers for San Jose State. I just think facing a pissed off Texas team is not the position you really want. I'm almost sure San Jose State was probably rooting for Texas to win the game so that they wouldn't be as pissed off. But yeah, man, heading into week 2, obviously, like you said, CJ, it's not as great as a slate as it was for week 1. Week 1 had all the fireworks and things of that nature in the matchup. Shout out to the Miami Hurricanes for their big dub last night over the Catholics up there, the Catholics versus convicts rivalry. Being renewed.
Hey man, tell Michael Irvin cut that hair off, man. Whatever he's trying to do, bro, cut that shit.
Oh, did you see him after the game?
Bruh.
Hey, bro.
Cut that shit off.
I was expecting we'll lose the recipe.
Please cut that off, bro.
I know Michael Irvin has tried to really, clean up his image from his Dallas days.
And I'm happy for the effort. I'm happy for it.
Mike might be back on the booger shit now.
He back.
Mike might be back. When we see him last year tooting it up.
That was the game on a Thursday afternoon. It was bad.
He was on the side. I'm like, what is he doing?
That's what gave me signs. Mike might be back. I looked at my wife and I said, Mike might be back on that booger shit.
Lord protect Michael Irvin. He needed Lord. Jesus, Lord, he needed.
Yes.
Oh God, it ain't funny, but it is funny. Oh God,
it is exciting to see him be the ambassador for the Hurricanes and see them.
He be hyping the boys up, man. That's
for a year. Yeah, man. A lot of teams are obviously impressive. Obviously, there's going to be some shakeup in these rankings coming out this week. Who do y'all feel like will be sitting at number 1?
Ohio State, but it should be LSU.
I think it should be LSU too.
I would pick LSU, but they're going to do Ohio State because they beat Texas. So
they're going to say if you beat number one, you are number
that
one.
should be 1-2 though. Like Ohio, if they put Ohio State 1, LSU should be 2.
No, they're going to keep Penn State.
Are we going to do our own rankings? Y'all want to do our own?
Yeah, we can. So moving forward, who do y'all have it at number 1 going into
LSU?
LSU's my pick.
Yeah. I think their victory was extremely impressive to walk into that
on the road with that defense.
On the road,
yeah. And I know I said the real Death Valley, and I still think LSU is the real Death Valley. But yeah, man, to that I will say this: Clemson has probably one of the best introductions, runouts. Yeah, that
get on the
bus. Yeah, I would love to just go there and check out a game one year just to see that run out, because that's incredible. That's an incredible sight. I'm glad they got to show it on the national broadcast and watch them get off the bus and run down the hill. So that was incredible to see. But yeah, I think LSU's victory was very, very impressive, especially on the road. I would put them in number 1. I'd probably put Ohio State at 2.
Yeah.
You think Texas stays at 3?
They're probably not. I think they're gonna move. Like they'll move Penn State now because they were able to take care of business. So they beat down Nevada. So like, yeah, we're gonna move you down 1 spot. Right. So honestly, I think it's probably gonna be Penn State. Penn State's gonna go 3.
So we got LSU, Ohio State,
Penn State.
I'll put Penn State at 3. Yeah, I'm cool with Penn State. I mean, they played a cupcake, but they didn't do it.
Yeah, they beat them out. They beat them
out. How far are you guys moving Miami up, and how far are you sliding Notre Dame back?
Not too much. I mean, they didn't really get clapped. It was a tie ball game. It was a game-winning field goal. So I would definitely move Miami up from 10 to
8.
Yeah, like 8 or 7-ish. I'll probably move.
Yeah, they're taking Bama's spot.
I'm moving Notre Dame down. I think they're still a top 10 team. I'm cool with moving Notre Dame down from 6 to 10. So
I think 4 is going to be Georgia. That's because how dominant
Georgia.
Georgia's going to be at 4.
I'm cool with Georgia at 4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, I'm cool with Georgia at 4.
I think at 5, because I'm going through all the rankings right now. I think Notre Dame probably will drop down and probably about. I'm looking at it because right now in the rankings,
I'm cool with Texas at 5 for now.
Yeah, Texas can be.
They get not too much.
Oh yeah, Texas at 5. Yeah, I didn't know Texas. Yeah, Texas can go down to 5. I think that at 6, I would probably put Oregon.
Yeah,
because Oregon looked really good against Montana State.
Dominant.
So I'll probably put Oregon at 6. I'll put Miami at
7.
No, LSU at 7. LSU's
1. So you put Miami at 7. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Miami at 7.
7. It's a good dub.
Yeah. 8, I will probably put Arizona State because I think Arizona State looked really good. Dude, it's just a lot of teams played a lot of cupcakes. So
yeah, nobody really do much. I guess if I had to put somebody at 9, I may go South Carolina. They ain't really beat nobody.
I mean, because Clemson
Virginia Tech, but yeah,
you can put Clemson at 9.
Yeah, they lost, but not that bad. I'm cool with them.
Yeah,
so, South Carolina 10, or do we want to go Illinois or Michigan?
South Carolina. Who does South Carolina beat? Virginia. Yeah, no, South Carolina goes 9. I think South Carolina goes.
Oh, they 9? Okay, I was cool with 10 or 9.
Yeah, because I mean, like they beat Virginia Tech.
This is a good win. Neutral site.
Neutral site, good win. I think the number 1 team that's probably going to make a big jump is probably Tennessee, but I don't think they're going to crack the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Florida State after that dub, they should be a top 15 team.
Yeah.
Easily top 20, but I would think they'd be top 15-ish or something.
They'll probably put Bama at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, where do we see Bama falling to?
I think they'll put them at 10 because
they were number 8.
How's it? A 14-point margin.
They came back inside the game or got it down to 3 right before the end of the game. So.
Oh, Bama or
yeah, then Bama get down to 3.
7.
They got it down to 3 or 7. 7.
Yeah, they cut it down to 7. And then Florida State put that final nail in the coffin by scoring again.
I'll say Bama's like they're probably like 11, maybe outside the top 10. You did lose to it is an unranked team.
I would probably keep them there, and then because Arizona State's at 11, so like unless you want to move Arizona State up to 10 and then move Bama down to 11,
Bama can't be top 10 for sure. They got to be like anywhere from like 11 to 15. You lost to Florida State, bro. You dang near need to be closer to 20, but you definitely don't need to be nowhere near the top 10. So if Bama was like anywhere from 11 to 15, I'm cool. But they added a top 10 for me.
I don't think there's really going to be a lot of changes. I do think that Boise State is going to get out of there.
Well, they were already 25. Y'all was basically
they're definitely out of
there. Hey guys, smoked.
I'm like, I had them losing.
I had them losing too, but not like that. God dang. I'm like, at least keep it respectable. They got their teeth kicked in. My goodness.
South Florida,
the Bulls.
Hey man, and life is gonna be tough without Ashton Genty and them boys being around. So,
boy, Braden, they're fighting for his life, boy.
Yeah, I think. Can we agree that we know Kansas State's gonna drop down like 20s because they lost?
What was they at? 7? They was at 17.
No, they almost lost.
They did almost lose.
Yeah, and they might.
They should fall to the 20s. Yeah, you almost lost to North Dakota, bro. At the crib, you had a game-winning field goal.
Oh. Yeah, man, K-State, man, I'm
kind of disappointed, bro. I was high on K-State.
We all were high on.
Everybody was high on K-State, bro. They on bullshit, bro.
My head, like,
I had to change my pick, bro. I ain't rocking with y'all,
right?
Bro.
I think we picked
we had them, Arizona State, and Texas Tech. Like them, like the top 3 teams, and K-State looking like they be lucky to finish top 5 in the Big 12 at this point because y'all on bullshit.
Like y'all looking worse than Colorado. And Colorado,
that's what I'm saying, bro. I mean, like Texas Tech offense didn't look amazing. I will say that they were kind of slowish to start the game. Ended better than they started. Iowa State dominated from start to finish. We already knew they were one of the favorites in the Big 12. As far as all the local schools, I mean, if you're a Texas fan, you watch them. Texas A&M. Who did they play? Did they play last week?
They played
some Rudy Poo team.
So nobody. Okay,
they played Florida International or something like that.
FAU. Yeah.
Yeah,
they did play. I think
they clapped them.
Let me look.
Outside of that, really. Yeah. Outside of the Texas game, most of the local schools in the area didn't really play nobody for real.
Yeah. No, they play. Can I
say one thing before we get out of here? To you Crimson Tide, roll Tide.
The tide is low.
The tide is low.
It's real low.
Looking murky. I know it's only one game.
Okay.
But y'all told me, Halen DeBoer, to do with Nick Saban. It's not going to be any different.
Oh,
the tide is going to continue to roll. It don't look like it's rolling.
Don't look flat.
Like it's
look flatline.
And I may just be sitting here and just being a hater. Because I am. I'm definitely a hater. I got no issues admitted. But I tried to tell y'all, once Nicky got up out of there, things was going to be different. And it's looking real different around me.
I told y'all it's going to change. Look what happened.
I mean, we all looked at it. And we looked at Bama. And we looked at Nick. And then we looked right back at Bama and we said,
don't look the same.
You ain't the same no more.
Don't look the same.
Might need Nicky back.
You might need him.
Yeah, need somebody because boy,
you needed him for recruiting. You can't bring him back.
That was probably two of the more.
Like he's enjoying his job on College Game Day right now.
Like, yeah, I don't need to deal with that no more. Y'all got it. That was probably two of the more disappointing things of the weekend. The trenches for Alabama and Notre Dame both got punked by a wide margin, and I was not expecting that. Like, because Miami punked Notre Dame and Florida State punked Bama on both sides of the ball. And that's definitely not something I would have said for sure.
They showed me number 18 for Alabama. That boy, Nail, I would just say Nick would have had him running after the game.
For sure.
Because he didn't run to the ball.
Yeah.
They look real lazy.
I said, oh boy, this would have never happened.
Boy, he would have never played again.
That would have never happened. So yeah,
Ryan, hold on. Cause Ryan Williams, don't act like we didn't notice that you was dropping passes too.
Oh, Ryan Williams gonna be at Texas next year.
He in that portal. Ooh. Catching passes from Arch.
Ryan up out of there, bro. He ain't going to a different school next year. You know? Nah, I don't. Hey, man.
I heard Ohio State fans start getting their name already for him.
Yeah, I heard that too. Jeremiah Smith, Cardell Tate, and Ryan Williams.
Boy.
Go ahead.
Oh, no matter who the quarterback is, they winning.
Yeah. I told people, we told them about FSU. That Gus Miles on.
That they can run that ball. Well, also, like,
right.
If you would have told me that's the way the game was going to go, I was like, with Alabama's trenches, there's just no way. Their D-line got thoroughly punked the entire game. Every time they ran the ball with Castellanos, either of the running backs, the passing game, he was never flustered at all. Malzahn had the whole playbook open to him. So that part was very shocking. But just like a realistic take, just like we said about Texas, it's only one game. I don't expect them to do that every single week, but we do have to admit this ain't the same intensity that Saban played with. Like DG just said, that would never happen under Nick Saban. There were literally guys out there jogging. I'm like, bro, it's like they don't even care at this point, or they thought it was like a FCS game. Like they weren't taking the game seriously. So that was crazy.
Were jogging, and an FSU player laid out an Alabama linebacker.
It was very weird to see. I expect them to be a lot better, obviously, going on during the season, but it lets you know, like, the intensity level is different from a guy like DeBoer to Saban. It's not the same, especially defensively. They weren't nearly on the same.
ESPN changed the recruiting predictor metrics. Few teams got a little bit of bump, and they think they're gonna lose to. They think Bama gonna lose to them.
Hey, if you play like that, you're gonna lose a lot of recruits.
They said no. They said what was it? I gotta find it again. I think they said they changed it to where they think Bama gonna lose to Auburn. They think Bama gonna lose to Tennessee. They think Bama going to lose to South Carolina. They think Bama going to lose to Missouri.
At this point, the way Bama look, they could lose to a lot of teams, bro. Like, I don't know if you could say they're a favorite versus too many of them raw teams you just named. Not too many. So until I know that obviously they have a while into their next big game, but until we see something different, all those other teams have the absolute right to think they can cover and beat Bama the way they played. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got a lot of football coming up, man. The border war is happening this weekend. It's going down in Columbia, Missouri. I'm excited to see that, as well as Michigan versus Oklahoma. That should be a really dope game. It's a really kind of weak slate for week 2, but it's kind of to be expected, you know, because I know things for the college football season will ramp up. Do got NFL coming back this week, Thursday night. Cowboys and Eagles take on each other to kick the season off. That should be a good one. Then, you know, obviously your Chiefs will be in Brazil this week to take on the Chargers as well. And you know what's the best place to play daily fantasy sports and win you some money? Underdog Fantasy, promo code KingdomCast, get $1,000 match on your first deposit, man. Underdog has got a lot of great promos going on over there. The football season is definitely ramping up. If you need some plays, join the Bet the House Discord. You can either talk to me, CJ, or Trey as well about getting into Bet the House Discord. The link is in my bio on Twitter at Keep It Prolific. I'm pretty sure it's if you want to go talk to CJ is one of our
DM me, I got you.
Yeah, experts. He's putting out plays all the time, man. He wins a lot of bread. Made me a lot of bread as well. So, you know,
take that Iowa State Iowa
Right.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be an ugly game for sure.
So go to Underdog, man. Sign up there. Like I said, use the promo code KingdomCast to get your your deposit match, and I think your first play free as well too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. That's the game. Oh yeah, I forgot. Before we get out of here, flash that again for us, Trey. The KingdomCast game day box at Wings and Things, $28.99. The Friday game day box, man. Trust me, if you're going to a watch party, if you're headed out of town, wherever, if you're with families coming into town, what better way to feed everybody than the game day box from Wings and Things, man, and you will not be disappointed.
I'm definitely getting one. I'm getting one.
I'm definitely
getting one.
Went up there and got a couple of four-piece wings with it,
Me and DG gonna split
on the side,
I'm eating.
We're gonna split.
Yeah, man. Hit up Wings and Things, man. Go up there, get your game day box. Tell them Kingdom Cast sent you, man. Support us. Help support a local business here in our city, man. That's been historically a local business. It's been a part of our community for a long time. I remember going there as a kid and eating there as well too. So it's been around for a while, man. So go up there and support those guys, man. And sell them out. Buy so much chicken that they can't even have no more chicken.
That's fact. Buy it all up.
Eat it. I'm eating. Yeah,
man. Especially coming up this Friday, man. Chiefs are back in action, man, and it's gonna be a great game to watch them taking on an international stage. So yeah, we'll be back next week with all our reactions for college football and the college football landscape, and to talk over the border war and things of that nature. Follow my guy Trey at That Way 816. Follow my guy CJ at CGZ81. Yeah, man. We hope y'all have a blessed and prosperous week, man. Be safe. Be blessed.
Let's show some support for the high schools. They back in action.
Local.
High schools have been back in. Yeah, local high schools have been back in action. We will be doing more high school content coming up as well too. Probably a player of the week going around to the local high schools. Shout out to all the kids that are playing, all the young life, man. Be safe this year, and go out and ball out, man. All the kids that are trying to get offers and things of that nature. My well wishes and prayers, and everybody goes out to everybody for a safe and successful season, man. And I seen some good games last week as well. Rockhurst took on St. Pius X.
That's disgusting.
It was a pretty game.
How they drop you? They dropped them down to class 5.
Yeah, Rockhurst is still the juggernaut that they are. So seen some lot of good games going around. Lee Summit North is a powerhouse year in and year out for the last 5-6 years now or so. They've built a really good program over there. Of course, there's always some good programs over in Kansas and things of that nature. So check
Mill
out.
Mill Valley's good again this year. No surprise.
Yeah, everybody, man. Platte County came down to William Christman and put the hands and feet and paw and whatever else they could put on them.
Right hand green.
Yeah. And dominated William Christman, man. So yeah, there's a lot of good local football action going on, man. Get out, support the kids. Go to a random game, man. Just support the local kids around, man.
Tap in.
And tell them, Kingdom Cast, Redshirt Podcast sent you, or whatever. So yeah. With that being said, man, love y'all. Gotta get out of here. Peace, love, and hair grease. We'll see y'all next week.